As well as pecking, Siobhan tells me that these birds do have a more subtle way of communicating who's top chicken.
When there was lots of food and it was worth the subordinates chancing their arm and trying to grab one, then they all piled in. But now that the food's depleted a little bit and there's less of it, whoever's the kind of more dominant bird is more likely to hog it.
And you can start to see that orange is really dominating that bowl.
She is, yeah. And the others are deferring to her.
The aggressive orange hen is called Margot. She dominates this group. Whenever Margot approaches the bowl, the other hens just move away. How does she do it?
Often birds will just need to reinforce with a threat. It's usually a fixed stare, and the subordinate bird will usually drop eye contact and duck away, maybe turn its head away, or might even walk away.
Wow, that's quite subtle then, isn't it? Just a little stare, and then the other chicken will back off.
All it takes is a dirty look from Margot and the threat of a peck. And Green, that's Bonnie, turns tail. To the untrained eye, this is just a bunch of chickens pecking in a box. But when you study them closely, you can see just how sophisticated and varied their communication is. Every flock has a pecking order, and that means that every chicken knows its place. This reduces the need for fighting every time there's food available.
But the way they keep order really impresses me. They communicate and they cooperate with each other. And this subtle communication makes them the perfect birds for us to keep. They organise themselves into flocks, we don't have to herd them about, and they don't look to humans to be their pack leaders. Chickens are easy.
We first domesticated chickens 8,000 years ago. In addition to them being easy to keep, they were also pretty easy to breed. I've been to poultry shows up and down the country, and at every one you can see an astounding array of chickens. In fact, there are more than 200 different breeds of domestic chicken. Every one of them effectively created by us. Some, like the leghorns, have been bred for egg laying. Light Sussex chickens are dual-purpose birds, good for eggs and meat. Old English game birds were originally kept for fighting. And some, like the frizzle, have just been bred for show. With such a huge variety of chickens of all different shapes and sizes, I do wonder where this species came from in the first place. Now, you might be as surprised as I was to discover that there's a man at Oxford University who has spent the last 10 years studying the chicken's wild ancestor. I hope Dr. Tom Pizzari can tell me a bit more about them.
I thought I'd show you what wild chickens actually look like. There are wild chickens in Southeast Asia. They're called red jungle fowl. And this is really the ancestral population that produced all the different breeds of domestic chicken.
Wow. Isn't it funny, because people don't think of chickens being a wild animal?
No, absolutely not. And yet, look, he's displaying exactly the same behaviour as the cockles out in the paddock there.
Yeah, look at that.
Incredible.
Now, looking at this wild bird here, this is a tropical bird living on a forest floor. Why on earth do we domesticate this animal, the jungle fowl, rather than any other species of bird?
They're very social. This means that people can keep them in large groups, which obviously helps. They are highly adaptable. They have a very diverse diet, and they're able to live in a very wide range of environments, from tropical forests to the foothills of the Himalaya.
Right through to actually caged commercial systems.
Absolutely, yes. So they are the victim of their own success in a way.
So as animals, they're good all-rounders then?
They are.
They could be in the snow, they could be in the hot climates, they like a varied diet.
Yeah.
Do you think one of the great reasons that they're domesticated is because they're pretty good to eat?
That's the third reason, absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
It's bad news if you're delicious, in other words.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
Chickens originated in Thailand, but were brought to Europe 2,000 years ago. From the 15th century, chickens were carried all over the world by European colonists. We domesticated chickens for their eggs, their meat, and even because we like to see them fight. But how much wild behaviour do Jane's ex-battery chickens still have? Tom tells me that jungle fowl avoid predators by staying under cover, and that the males give alarm calls to warn of any danger. I wonder how Jane's domestic birds would react to predators. Will they panic? Or call to warn each other of the danger? To help me, I've enlisted Dr. Joa Madden, an animal behaviour specialist with a wily-looking stuffed fox, and falconer David Bunkle with Conan, a Harris hawk.
Wow, what a beautiful bird.
Isn't it?
Hope he's had his breakfast.
Yeah, should be. Might not be chicken on the menu.
No, I hope not.
But it'd be interesting what the responses would be like. What do you think will happen? What will the chickens do? Will they crow when they see these animals?
We know that chickens certainly give two different types of alarm call. They give one sort of call when they see a threat from the sky, in terms of an aerial predator, and one sort of call when they see a threat from the ground, in terms of something like a fox, say.
Time to put the chickens to the test. We're going to introduce the predators, but will Jane's cockerels William and Harry warn the hens? First up, it's Conan the Harris hawk. Facing this cruel-beaked predator, have the chickens met their match? The cockerels should be on the lookout, but are William and Harry up to the job?
Right, here it goes. Here it goes. Look at the cockerel. That cockerel straight away, he went, what was that? Looked straight up.
William and Harry are immediately on guard and alert to the danger. William is the first to raise the alarm.
All the hens have moved under the trees for cover.
They're heading in there for the cover. We saw them running under the bushes, heading for that cover, protection from above.
But Conan is a seasoned predator. He'll bide his time until the chickens think the danger has passed.
It's almost like he's stalking in there, isn't he? Hopping from tree to tree.
Yeah. Still quite calm on the ground.
The hens are still pecking around, but the cockerels definitely...
They know something's happening, don't they? I think they've got a sense.
They probably do spend a lot of their time on guard, if you like, keeping an eye out for potential predators. He's calling him in now.
Here he comes, look at this.
Suddenly, Conan swoops. Because William and Harry had given the aerial alarm call, all the hens were under the bushes and well protected. The flock stays together even under attack. Their keen eyesight means they can immediately detect danger. All the chickens are safe. But how will they react to the fox? After humans, foxes are chickens' greatest natural predator. They will test every bit of fencing around the chicken coop, and if there's a way in, a fox will find it. In the wild, chickens would head for the trees. But in a hen house, there's no escape. So Jane's lot should be worried. They haven't seen our fox yet, but when he's pulled along, he'll be in full view.
They all seem to be just busy pecking, not really worrying about anything.
No, there's none really heads up. You can see the rooster down there. He's the one that's really looking around most.
He should be the one who's the lookout.
Let's see if he picks up on it.
Wow, that is an amazing response, isn't it?
They're very interested in it.
They're not fooled, are they?
They're
It's
not, no.
it's something new in their environment which is interested them.
Yeah. They've all extended their necks, haven't they?
Yeah,
To have a good
but,
look.
They're having a look up and over, aren't they? But
It's a stuffed fox, and they know it.
Yeah, they've probably seen real foxes,
Yeah.
haven't they, moving
Yeah.
naturally.
certainly.
And I mean, that's a pretty smooth-moving fox. I'm impressed that the chickens weren't fooled. I thought even a stuffed fox might send them running. But chickens see movement at double the speed of human vision. Where we see quick movement as a blur, they see the detail. So they can distinguish between a naturally moving predator and a stuffed one on rails in a fraction of a second. And chickens' eyes are even more finely tuned.